I guarantee I have a winner for Saturday.
And he's probably going to hit the all button.
Oh, come on. Thee of little faith. Thee of little faith. I don't need the all button to guarantee a winner. What I want to do, though, I probably should guarantee a loser because that's the streak we've been back on. And we've been doing
God.
right on giving the tips of, I was against Napoleon Solo, which ended up being correct. You were against Litmus Test, which ended up being correct. So, we're heading in the right direction. We're just not landing the winners. I got a little tricked by Class President, but that was a nice performance, I thought. You were just telling me that the speed figure came back a lot lighter than we thought for that Kentucky Derby prep. What was your impression on Class President?
Yeah, I personally, I actually thought the Rebel was the better of the two races last weekend between the Rebel and the Fountain of Youth. I know I'm in the minority of that. I thought the Rebel was a much better race. I really the Fountain of Youth was okay. I think Chief Wallaby's the horse you want going forward. I know a lot of people are like, oh well, Commandment galloped out really well. He also ran a lot shorter.
Mm.
He got a really good he got a really good trip, and I think that was the difference in the race was the Chief Wallaby went outside, Commandment went inside, and those extra feet mattered late.
Big time.
Uh, but I personally, I thought the Rebel was just a really good race. Class President showed that he could go 2 turns. That was the big question on him. If he could get 2 turns, and he answered that question. Silent Tactic is looking like a legitimate horse for Mark Cassie. That was a huge run. I mean, that was like, yeah, he didn't win, but he backed up the previous effort, showing that he wasn't just like a one race wonder, which is huge. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he looks very good moving forward too. So both races were very good. I thought the Rebel personally was a little bit better. And I am interested to see where they land next time out for their 100-point preps.
Congratulations to King George, who won our doubling down contests for February. Vinny, we move on to March, and very happy I got my Racelands shirt on here today. Racelands is sponsoring our prize for the top 3 finishers of the March contest. It'll be 4 weeks. We'll follow the Derby prep for all 4 weeks, starting off at Tampa Bay this week. If you are a new customer to Racelands and you finish in the top 3, you'll get a promo code for $1. You can't beat that. And big news, I'll be at NHC in the Racelands booth next week. So if there's any viewers out there who have qualified for NHC, please come by. We'll be giving away Racelands packages each day, and there'll be swag, and you can sit with me and Ben. We'll give you a little run through on Racelands, and I can't wait. It's going to be really exciting to be in the room with so many horse players, and the excitement will be incredible. So look for me at Racelands if you're out there, and jump into our app and play because it's free and you win. Shout out to our sponsors, Sherbet Coffee from last month, who gave out the coffee to King George, Caretaker, and Chumbo. Top 3 places. No reason not to play. Just get in and play along with us, and you get bragging rights. You get shout outs. We're on Nessa Nation. Your shout out is seen across the country. So jump in. We're still there Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. on Nessa Nation. Come check us out. In the meantime, this is the Doubling Down YouTube channel. We are putting together a daily double, starting with race 10 at Tampa Bay Downs and the Florida Oaks. This is a fun little sequence. I had some trickiness getting through the 2 legs and feeling confident. But I did guarantee a winner, so I have to come through now to make it up for those that have stuck around this long on our video. I promise you, I've got a winner for you. Vinny, where did you go in the Florida Oaks?
I landed on the number 7 for Todd Pletcher, Time to Dream. I did not realize this horse was going to be the favorite.
Oh, you didn't change?
I def no, I
Nope.
just
All right.
didn't realize this horse was going to be the favorite. I'm fine with it. I ended up singling. I thought I was being a little risky singling this one just because I thought I was going to get an okay price. A 5-2 is not terrible. Hopefully, not bet down too much. But yeah, I guess coming in off the layoff, but last two races were graded stakes. Last one probably a little bit overhead in a grade one, but I mean, it still improved in that race technically, numbers wise. So I'm interested to see how this one comes back. Irad's back in the saddle, which is always a good sign. Pletcher's been hot lately, so that's where I landed.
Yeah, I can see the last three speed figures for this horse on the right, 81, 80, and then in 89 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf, finishing 10th on that day. I did notice that IRAD stays aboard, so that is a good sign for you. But Vinny, I've warned you over and over again. You just don't want to listen to me. At least in this case, I'm okay passing on a horse that hasn't raced since October, coming in off the Breeders' Cup in this spot, and that's ultimately what I did. Like, if you're going to take a horse, and I don't want to contradict myself, because to be honest, I'm taking a horse off the layoff, but not the 5-2 favorite. That's kind of what I,
So
when I made the decision of where I was going to go. Um, this is a horse that's going to be coming from off the pace. I feel like there's some speed in here. You have the horses that have beaten winners, which I think is important. Again, going to contradict myself because one of my choices is not beaten winners. But the 3, 4, 6, 7, and 11 all have that experience. I'm going to start. I don't know that this would be the horse that I'll put on top, but it is a horse that is a nice price. I feel like at 6-1 is the number 3, Abigail. You get that peaking form angle in which a horse was forwardly placed and won by at least 3 lengths. Actually, won exactly by 3 lengths last time out, coming into a stakes race for the Miguel Clement barn. This horse has won the last 2 races. They were both at Tampa, including the second time out at a mile and a 16th. They started this horse off at a mile and a 16th in the maiden special weight 85K. Was then scratched in November with a notice there that says injured, but obviously came back okay, running an 82 and stepped that back up with an 87, even though that class figure was a little bit better. And what actually brought this horse to my attention was, this is what I like my angle about, is sometimes this horse in the fourth spot, I kind of think of like your long shot maybe that you may want to pay attention to. So I didn't have this horse first time I went through. I came back because it dropped in that fourth spot that I think is sneaky, and that's what made me had it look again. And the other thing I really liked was Miguel Clement, second time off the layoff on the turf. Right here, Vinny. 60 starts, 14 wins, 23 percentage, positive ROI. Like, I feel like he has this horse maybe primed really nice for a nice effort in this spot. Coming back with that first win February 13th, where the horse was forwardly placed. I think this might be uh, the horse that you want that's going to be on the front end. Um, uh, Racelands actually has the number 11 on the front. But the 3 for me, Abigail. Any interest for you? Was there any horse that I know you singled? Was there any other one that you were worried about?
yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought this was a pretty competitive race, and that's kind of why I ended up singling because
Mm,
like the first couple times I went through, I had like 4 or 5 horses, and I was just like, I don't have a single in the next leg. So I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna take my opinion on who my top pick is, and that was the 7. And I was like, I'm gonna go with it and just try to do a skinny double ticket rather than do a spread, and then maybe like I figured the 7 was gonna be like 3 or 4 to 1 when I did it, and I'm like, I can't go 5 deep and land on land on a horse, end up with a horse that's 4 to 1. So yeah, this horse definitely caught my eye. I feel like just a weird thing, the Waterville Lake Stables. I feel like every time I use their horses, they don't win. No, they win, or every time I use them, they win, or they don't win, and every time I don't use them, they do win.
good. Love
So
to hear that.
yeah,
Good for me.
I just like I feel like they always come in second for me. I know they do win races, and every now and again I get lucky with them. But yeah, I saw the same thing you did here. Like I think this horse is going to be more forwardly placed. It probably will end up sitting that nice pocket trip, and if the race lens is right and the 11 just goes, if he comes back to the field, this is the horse that's probably going to be the first one making the move. So that's never a bad thing.
I hope so. The other horse, so I thought the 9 had come off the layoff, so I lied. I am taking no horses that are off the layoff, so we stick that angle right back at you that you're in trouble for taking a horse off the layoff. Coco Motion actually did run February 7th. I thought it was earlier. This horse ran by 6 1/4 lengths, drew off in this maiden special weight again at Tampa. I like the fact that the debut was at a mile and a 16th, but what really caught my eye here is taking Johnny V aboard. To me, in this type of race, this type of day, give me Johnny V all the time. Coco Motion to me visually was impressive enough in this race, and I will use this horse who put up an 87 Equibase speed figure first time out. To me, this horse looks like a runner, and put him back on the turf and give him to me. Her, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. The time was. I mean, they went 22:47. So I see. What I mean, you're going to get a price. I'm assuming here, 9-2.
Not really.
A little, yeah. Not as high as I would like. I actually don't love the last couple works out of that race. Um, that is where I decided that this wasn't a horse for me.
Mm.
Horse came back out of that race 50 4 furlongs 51, 4 furlongs 50, but you look at the works before that race and they're all about a second faster.
Mm.
4 and 40, 4 and 49, 4 and 48. I know there's a 5 and 103, but that's at 5 furlongs. There is a couple there is a 4 and 50 back in December of last year. But this horse seemed to be like going really good before that debut, and then out of that, like it's just always a cause for concern for me when they come back out of the maiden win and they're not working as sharp as they were. So that's why I didn't end up using that one.
Makes sense. That's all we're going to use to get through this first leg. I'm going to go 3-9. Vinny's going to single with his 7. We're going to take a quick timeout. Here's a quick look at our first leg, and we'll take this break here on Nesson Nation. For those of you watching on our Doubling Down channel, take this moment to hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back with our look at the Tampa Bay Derby. Okay, Vinny, here we go. Tampa Bay Downs, Tampa Bay Derby, mile and 16th for the 3-year-olds. Number 2 Talkin is actually in my USA Steeplechase stable. I had picked up Silent Tactic smartly on March 1st and picked up the points that he earned in that prep to vault me up, I think, into the top 3. Talkin is one that I had back when we put the stables together in November, but his performance last time out didn't leave me feeling too comfortable finishing 18 lengths behind in the Remsen Stakes, but I couldn't move him because I had a couple horses that aren't even working. So I decided I'll leave Talkin in my stable and we'll see maybe if he can sneak up and pull off some points for me. Kendrick Carmouche was aboard. Now we move to Joel Rosario, which I think the style actually fits Joel probably a little bit better. For Danny Gargan, this is a good magic. $600,000 at 15-1. Not going to use on my ticket. You thought that this race was pretty competitive by way of using a couple horses in here. Who would you like to go on talk about first?
Yeah, Talkin's not for me. That Remsen was bad, and then
you love Talkin.
I did. I was high on Talkin going into the Remsen. That was the horse I was using with Paladin in the Remsen was Talkin, and then he ran terrible, and then they were gonna run him in the Fountain of Youth. They decided to run him here in the softer in the softer spot, which is it's not really in my opinion. I mean, this is still a competitive race. I just don't think it looks good. I'll start with Power Shift, the number 5 for Todd Pletcher. Finished second on debut, but emerging market for Chad Brown is the next Chad Brown horse besides Paladin that everybody wants a piece of. So I don't think this loss was that bad. Uh, this horse should improve with the based on the pedigree. Gets a switch to Johnny V, which is never terrible for with Rapoli owning. Johnny V does ride a lot of winners for Rapoli. But yeah, like I guess like I really like emerging market as well. I'm waiting to see where he ends up. I think he might be Chad's like Preakness horse this year. I feel like Chad is like notorious for skipping the Derby with horses that could run in it, and then having them run big efforts in the Preakness. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for with emerging market. But I think emerging market is that good, then I feel like I had to use this horse because emerging market's not in. I know a lot of people were surprised emerging market wasn't in here. I kind of was too. But like I feel like if this horse entered, I would argue he'd probably go off the favorite. So I'll take the second. I'll take the horse that ran second to him.
Yeah, that was one of the best duels in the stretch I think we've seen, at least I've seen over the course of the last few months. Those two threw it down and a really exciting finish there. Power Shift was one that I we had on our top 5 long shots because of that race right there. So he was absolutely one when I saw. I'm certainly excited to see come back for the Pletcher barn. I I was a little gun shy in using, further ado's 9-5. Power Shift 7-2, Canaletto's 5-2, kinda same concept that I had.
Further adu's 9-5.
Vinny sees
Oh
them
my
for the first
god.
time. What do you think about that?
Oh God. Oh no. No.
No? Not happy,
Absolutely
huh?
not. No, I'm not happy with that at all. I would like to for the first time on this show. I would like to switch my ticket.
You do it. I'll change the graphic. What do you
I would like to take further ado out, and I'm going to use your 9.
Okay.
I I can't use further ado at. Like he could win for Cox at 9-5 though. After seeing the Kentucky Jockey Club really hasn't come back that strong. Soldier and Diplomat has ran a couple good races. But last time he had trouble. He had trouble in the Rebel, so not his fault. But he finished 5th. But yeah, I can't use this horse at 9-5.
That
Like
was awesome.
this,
That was like live TV right there, live change.
yeah. Like I can't. I really didn't think he like. I figured he was going to be. I figured he'd be one of the two favorites, but I didn't think he'd be morning line 9-5. Like I couldn't bet him this day at 3-5 in this race, and he beat Universe. He beat Universe, who was closing on him, who has done no running since. Like at 9-5, I'm fine with losing to him.
Never change.
I
You just beat both of us.
I know. I just can't. Especially using the again. I don't look at the morning lines. I probably should right before the show
No,
starts,
I
but
love that
I
live
don't.
reaction. I love
Yeah,
that.
I didn't have the morning lines. I can't go single favorite into go by 2 with the favorite. So yeah, I would much rather use the 9. So that's where I'm gonna
All right, let's talk
go
about
here
that 9.
for
Chad Brown, just I saw the interview
yeah.
yesterday with Acacia, who said that Chad had said, he was thinking about running him last week in the Fountain of Youth, but thought that the one more week was really what the horse needed to uh, fatten up a little bit. And, that first time out going a mile at Gulfstream Park, he's excited to see what he's going to do here. Going a mile in the 16th, 2 turns. When we talked just before we came on, I said, honestly, I was tough deciding between the 6 and the 9, and I quickly threw up the replay to remind myself because I knew Canaletto was impressive in this performance, but it's been a while since I've watched this replay. And Vinny, visually in the stretch here, I didn't even bat an eye when I threw down that 9 for my single and walked away to start this show with you because I thought that this was a really nice performance first time out, earning a 94 for this Into Mischief out of a Distorted Humor Dam. Mix of early speed, has some closing kick, and look at this run.
Yeah, very green. Very green. I had was at least early top of the stretch and early in the stretch. Head was kind of going going different directions, but the talent's there. Second time out should improve. Chad's had success in the Tampa Bay Derby before, so not a weird spot for this horse by any means. The concern I said to you before was that the horse that finished second was the number 3 here, Lost Money, who I think is still running uh, in from the Fountain of Youth.
The 6 came back to
Horse
win next out. Autobahn won next time out.
Yeah, the 6 one, the third place finisher did come back to win. Lost Money was in over his head, so like I guess it's like he did bury this field, so it's kind of like all right, like yeah, the 3 got second, but nobody else was really in contention of winning, which is a good thing. But that was my one concern, was that like how strong this field actually was that he won by 6, because the 3 came back and was just horrendous. Um, but
I
yeah,
feel like
horse
right
is
here
full of
when the horse gets the focus, right here when the jockey asks, right there, the horse
yeah.
takes
He's
off. He
still
has kind of a
yeah
nice
the,
jump
the
to him.
head's yeah the head's still like kind of slanting towards the inside a little bit, but like first race, horse try second time and like this is one, like you look at the works before the first race and now going into the second race.
Mm.
Like that race was on January 20, like the works before January 25th. January 10th worked a bullet 40, like 48 and 4. January 17th 49 and 4. Then ran the 25th, and then you look, came back. The first work was a little slow, ran a 50 and 4, but then 49 and 4, 49 and 4, 48 and 4. Like this horse is back, like, it seems like this horse is back to where he was before the debut, like working out. I think that's probably part of the reason that Chad said might need a week, in that extra week. And based on that last work on February 27th, it looks like that extra week might have done it. So I'm gonna I'd much rather use the 9 here at a little bit at second money than use the 6 as the lukewarm favorite.
Live change. You'll see here on Racelands, Vinny. I have the memory of a goldfish, which is good for horse racing. So when you lose, you forget your losses, but not great for when you're trying to host a show and remember some of the crosses and the horses. But look at this on Racelands. At some point, I put in an angle that the Into Mischief with the distorted humor mare cross is the same as Patch Adams' Practical Joke and Life is Good. So you can put in those notes when you have them and they're fresh in your mind. And over the last 160 starts, a 25% win percentage. And so that cross there, you can go to details, and that's how I know that it's those horses. Tappan Street, Cornucopian, Metaphor, Touch of Magic, Citizen Bowl. There's definitely some runners that come out of that
Yeah,
cross.
yeah, it's a very good cross. It's a very good cross in my opinion. I didn't see if this one has any siblings or not. I did not do that. I forget, but no, it's a very good cross. Distorted. I mean, the distorted humor line is just like known for stamina. So, oh, this is the Sandman. This is the
Sandman.
Sandman half.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Is
This is
that
the
good or
half of the
bad?
Sandman. Honestly, I don't think it's bad, because I think part of the problem with Sandman, as well as there's a lot of horses on that tree that are like that, is the Tappet.
Mm.
Everybody loves the Tappets. They look gorgeous. Most of them with that white, like the white gray coloring, and they're all big, and they have talent, but they're all head cases. Some days they just don't want to run. They some days when they want to run, they look great, and then they're like, "Oh my god, this is the next horse." And then, they go a year without running, and then all of a sudden, like, they'll randomly be in a spot and they'll pop off again. And that's just what Tappets do. So I actually really I don't mind it, just because the Tappet is not the Tappet is not on top here.
Exactly. So that's a nice little demo there of how you can kind of quickly get through and call that up with Race Lens. Anybody else you want to touch upon? The Puma arrives,
Uh,
who has had a lot of chatter about that horse.
yeah,
How
I
about let's talk real
actually.
quickly before we get out of the Hulkamania. We got a minute left. How about the Hulkamania?
All
What do you
right,
think?
all right. We'll talk about Hulkamania. I mean, the debut was good and it was here. That was kind of my notes on this one. Like, already has a win on the track. Debut looked good. Big step up in class. Pedigree solid though. 160,000 for a Mackenzie with a 30. That's only a $30,000 stud fee.
Hmm.
That's solid. You're gonna get a price. I definitely needs to improve going 2 turns, but I don't think this horse was out of the question. This was one of those horses that I thought you could definitely use to spice up your ticket here. And same with the Puma. I thought the Puma was another one that I thought just looked scary. Especially after seeing how Chief Wallaby looked, and like this horse lost to Grand Third to Renegade in the Sam F. Davis last
Hmm.
time out, and if Renegade was in here, Renegade would be a single in my opinion. So I again another one that's like lost to a horse I think is just better than most of these. So yeah, those are two horses that didn't make my double ticket, but like a pick five late pick five ticket at Tampa, they'll probably both make it.
What you gonna do, brother, when the Hulkamania wins in Florida? We'll see. Here's our ticket. I'm gonna go 3-9 with a 9. Vinny makes his first change mid-show. That's something we haven't seen before. Vinny usually sticks to conviction even after seeing the odds. The top right corner of your screen there is wrong. This is for race 10 and race 11. Vinny's going 7 with a 5-9. Both of those tickets will cost you $2. Until next time, I'm Colin. He's Vinny. Good luck, everybody.